And welcome back to Praggers Gaming. I'm Gamer Praggers, and this is Voidtrain. This is a first impressions video for this channel. We're checking out Voidtrain. I've seen a couple of YouTubers play it a little while back on PC, but it has now come to console. Voidtrain is a crafting survival game. Become a crew member of an interdimensional express train. Discover a new world full of mysterious creatures, enemies and places. Upgrade and customize your train. Gather new materials. Build better weapons. And you can play solo online co-op with up to 4 people. Yeah, you're an engineer thrust into the strange and mysterious void, a world with its own history, rules and future. Build and upgrade your own train, craft powerful weapons, fight various enemies and survive the surreal landscapes of the void, alone or together with friends. Yes, it is on Game Pass Premium, at least for that tier and up, so Premium and Ultimate, I believe. There is a character creator, which is quite in depth. So you can change your sex, you can change your age, your skin tone, you can decide whether you want scars or not. You can change your forehead, you can change your hair, you can change the colour of your hair, you can have a hat if you want. We'll go with the hair. You change your ears, you can change your beard type. You can change your moustache, cheeks, your eyebrows, nose, eye placement, your eye colour, eyeliner if you want, not that you can really see that, eyeshadow if you want, there's various different designs, lip art if you want it, although you can't see it under this glorious moustache. Face art, plus you can change your body, so you can be thick or thin, and you've got different jackets that you can put on. I quite like the one with the straps. So yes, and then you can start your game, and there's the various options that you would expect with a survival crafter. You can have, okay, so you can turn off the shocks. That doesn't come into it until a couple a bit in, but yeah, you can take starvation damage, which we're not going to do, so we're just going to jump straight in.
Sometimes the spirit of adventure beckons so much it's pointless to resist it. Some people find enough courage to get on a train and head off into outer space. No. Also no. Wrong again. These are all wrong stories. Ah, there it is, the forest. This train was passing through impenetrable, dense forests. However, that was not a nameless journey, but a long way up here, right into the heart of the endless snowy nowhere. A perfect place for those who prefer tranquility, silence, and minus 45 degrees outside the window. Meet the man who made off into this palace of silence, the engineer. He'll be here on watch duty for many long and cold months, until the next lucky guy strides in to replace him. If one comes through at all, of course. But there's no need to feel sorry for him. Although the terrain is wild, there's plenty to see and do around here, especially if you're curious enough. Fortunately for my story, engineers are almost always inquisitive and attentive. These people notice things that elude the average person. And everything would have been fine in this adventure if the blizzard had not started at the wrong time. The chilly wind blew the engineer off the trail, which he immediately lost sight of. His fingers instantly turned into ice like everything else around him. The last hope of salvation, a map of the terrain, treacherously slipped out of his hands. Luckily, the video's timing didn't allow the engineer to suffer for long. All of a sudden, in the middle of snowy nowhere, it appeared. A door to... Where to, by the way? The building didn't seem to be on the engineer's maps. Anybody home? This is how it all usually starts.
Now, one thing I will point out, the first time I tried this, I got stuck here. And I had to restart the game, and it was fine. Okay, so it did crash. Or it just seemed to hang. But we're going to skip the cutscene.
In that strange hut, there was nothing. No people, no warmth, only darkness.
Okay. The narrator's quite cool. Because he does like to tell you what's going on.
If I were you, I'd look for a key. Or something that looks like a key. Maybe just something heavy.
There is a light there. The train goes through the portal, although we can't really see it here. Goes through the portal and it comes out there, which is quite cool. Right, let's have a look. Let's get some lights on. There is a humour.
Well, I don't think that's going to help.
In the game that I quite like, quite a subtle humour.
A heavy blunt object. Gotta grab it.
Like that. So I quite like that. Right. I didn't explore up here last time because I kind of got distracted and actually went along with the story. Okay. Okay, so I didn't miss much. Which is fine. Okay. Oh. So yes, you now that we have a key, we can turn the power on.
I'm afraid there's nothing left to fix with a hammer. Any other ideas?
Press X to repair. There we go.
Oh, and so my glorious hero, having passed all the hardships of his watch, finally obtains a light in order to notice something strange on the table.
Inspect the thingy on the table. Uh-oh. I mean, I'm sure it's probably fine. Yeah. Uh-oh. Maybe it's not fine. Whoops.
you're finally awake. A typical day on watch, huh?
And this is the Voidtrain.
Well, this might come in handy.
Okay, once we get control back, right. You can move around and you have a rope which you can use to pull yourself back to the train. Or just move around and try and pick up stuff. Oh, I can't get that. We can if we move the train back a bit. Although train is a loose term. Okay, so you collect resources and it kind of goes through phases. So you'll go through a collecting phase. From what I've played so far, and I've only played about 5 hours. Transmission. So there's our diary.
Of course, such an inventive mind wouldn't have any trouble figuring out the mechanism of a simple trolley.
Okay, so we'll move back a bit so we can grab that resource.
Well, pretty much. Try pulling the other lever.
Now these little floating fish things we do need. Okay. Because they give us leather and sometimes seeds and sometimes fat, which you can use to... Oh, there we go, some fat. Missed them. So, yeah, and that's kind of how the game goes. You go to an area, you scavenge resources, you build up your trolley, at least to begin with. I think we missed that one. It's too far away. Nope, just got it. So yeah, obviously you've got the brake, the transmission, so forwards or backwards, plus you've got the trolley handle, which you can use to speed up, and then your good old horn. Although it looks like that actually scares off the little creatures, so...
That's a useful book you've picked up. Is the author some kind of scientist or inventor? I hope he's not too upset that we stole his train. That's awkward.
So yeah, so we're just going to collect some resources, and then we've got our first quest: improvisation to build a research table. Obviously, to begin with, you're limited with space. Yep, there we go. And you can just feed him scrap metal. Oh, so we need 2 for that. So let's give him the fat and some wood, and we can research the smelter. We can now build a smelter. Or at least we would if we had enough scrap metal. So we need to move on a bit and grab some more scrap metal. There's some stuff down there. Yeah, once you've killed one of them, they generally start to move on. As you can see, it's telling us about our satiety, which is your food, and what's it? Food, drink. It's probably the one side of this that I felt was a little harder to do. But then I never got round to doing it early on. Once you've cleared out the first, once you've gone through the first area, you will get to I want to say a nexus, but it's not really a nexus because there's only like one way in, one way out, almost like a little tunnel. But it will then transport you to a different part of the void, and that introduces you to outposts. So you find this outpost, you can explore it, and you can loot. And at the end of that first one, you pick up a device that allows you to expand out your trolley, which is handy because then you've got more space. You can put more stuff down.
Of course, I didn't expect to be greeted with balloons and fanfare, but where is everybody?
So you go in and you can use the item that you picked up to increase the train size. And you can also move stuff around as well while you're in the menu. And then you've got more space, and then you've got to put down planks, the floor, in order to expand out the usable area, so to speak. And then even later on,
Truly an engineer.
you pick up another kit that actually gives you a second part to the train.
Look at our big train.
So you can then, you've got even more space. One thing I didn't seem to work out is how to build walls to help try and protect you. I'm sure I unlocked it, but I couldn't work out how to do it. Later on, you also get a grapple gun, which you can use to retrieve materials from further away. There is combat in the form, so when you get to your first outpost, at the end of the first outpost you pick up a gun, a simple pistol, but it's got infinite ammo, which is quite nice. And you can build a weaponry bench that will allow you to swap out the components. So you can change the grip, you can change the barrel, you can change the
so many diagrams on the table.
the other
He's
bit.
probably some kind of designer. Well, used to be.
Which is good. And you can also create other weapons from the bits that you find, and they're dropped by the human enemies that you come across. One thing that I did like is towards after a couple of hours, I think you do a couple of jumps, and then you're going through an area like this, and there is an outpost there that you have to take over. So that was quite cool, and it helped break it up. Something that happens after the first couple of jumps, you get introduced to, much like in Raft, where you have the shark that is constantly attacking your raft. There is a shark in this as well, and he does several different attacks. There's one where he comes up and tries chomping on the side of your train. There's one where it's got a tongue attack that pulls you towards him, so it's like a grapple. And then he's also got an attack where he picks up like an explosive and then fires that at you. Obviously that does more damage to you, but also area of effect as well, so it'll affect parts of the train as well, and the structures you've built, so you have to repair them as well. Research is a big part of this game, because that's how you get the updated gear, and you have to use items in order to give yourself research points to allow you to unlock the items. However, I have found that most of the time at the outposts you'll get fruit samples, which are pretty good for research. They tend to give you, I think it's like 25 research points that you can use to then unlock other things. I did find that I was quite a hoarder, so I would try and grab everything, so quickly ran out of space. But I have really enjoyed playing this. The sharks are annoying but not unfair, and I'm definitely intrigued to play more. But yeah, as a first impressions, I've really enjoyed this, and I do want to play more. Let me know down in the comments if you've played Voidtrain, if you've checked it out, what you think of it, and I will catch you in the next one. So thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, ticking the bell so you know when new videos go live. In the description is a link to the channel Discord. Feel free to come talk about the games you're playing, the games I'm playing, games in general. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!